So, right now there's, again, perpetrators that are hacking my phone. So my MobiZen isn't even online, so it should load right away. But, I understand, like, the internet may be slow, but even on the same spot, I just had LTE, and I'm in the wash right now. And so it's not like I moved. So it's not like the cell phone tower moved. But my internet connectivity changes at the hospital because they allow anybody to violate to see my phone, basically, even though I'm supposed to have a freedom of thought, and nobody could use my psychic profiling on my 195 systems. They're a bunch of losers. My phone's starting to get hot now because this one person, this attendant, he's a loser. He shouldn't even know that I have my phone. I didn't get it from him, so he shouldn't even know this. I've had my phone since 3:30. So anyways, I'm just going to make a quick video, but I should put people on hands because of their predictability. I played millions of hands, right? So I'm going to post this online. They can watch this officially. So the last tournament I was in, I had like a pair of sixes, and the guy needed on the turn. I went all in. He called. He had an open-ended straight draw, so he had 2 cards in his hand, and then 4 that he's seen, and he only had 8 cards out of 46 that could make his hand, and he hit his hand, so he had less than 20% chance of hitting his hand, less than 1 in 5, and he won. The Canadian government allows anybody to cheat and beat me just because they suck at poker. It's like it was a terrible decision. He got like if you make, well, just think, right? If you only have a 1 in 5 chance of winning, and you're making that decision long term, you're going to lose 4 times out of 5, right? So if you have like $5 million, like say you have $5 million and you bet $1 million every time, you're going to win. One time you're going to win $2 million, but then every other you're going to lose $4 million. So you're going to lose $2 million, right? Making those decisions. That's how pathetic these people are. Make poor mathematical decisions where they're guaranteed long-term losers. They have to be unless they cheat. Because if they bet $1 million, if they won 1 time out of 5, they win. They're going to win $1 million. So they would have 2 million, but then they're going to lose 4 times out of 5, so they're going to lose 4 million. See, like, I hate going all in pre-flop because you have 5 community cards, so I'm probably going to lose, even though I'm a favorite. The straight's coming. I told you the straight's going to come. They suck. I knew the straight was going to come. Like, that's how easy it is for me to predict. I didn't get knocked out. But that's how easy it is for me to predict hands. Because they make poor decisions, and people are predictable. They're predictable. There should be another situation where I can put them on a hand. Hopefully it's a quick video, and then I'll put it. I can't put it on TikTok because TikTok doesn't let me give gambling advice or sports advice for some reason. Like I posted this one video giving solid sports advice that would have made Chinese people better athletes and more competitive, but they didn't let me post a 20-minute video. It was just solid sports advice for 20 minutes. They gave me a community violation. It was insane. It's like they don't want to win Olympics. It's like they don't ever want to compete against people that are going to see my video on YouTube. Right? Because I always post my videos on TikTok and YouTube. Right? So it's insane that they wouldn't want to be better. So I just showed the bluff. I did have an 8 bets gunshot straight. So let's see. Well, they have to bet now. In order for me to put them on a hand, they have to make some betting moves in order for me to predict what they have. So this guy's hesitating, so he could have the 2 here if he bets. He folded. So this guy is ranked 10, so he's ranked veteran. I'm ranked 11, that's all-star. And 6, I don't know what that is. Like, that might be amateur or, you know, something like that, semi-pro or... Shit, I don't like making this decision, but I do have a pretty good hand. I should be a favorite. He's a slight favorite with the E6. I need a spade. That always sucks because if he had if he would have hit the 6 and I would have hit the queen or king, I would have won, right? He had to hit the ace or none of us make a pair to win. But ace is always a favorite in that scenario. That's why it's ace is the best card because you can make 2 different types of straights, and you can make ace through 5 and then ace 10 through ace as a straight. So, and then you could win his high card, and it's the best kicker, right? So it's the best hand. He's gonna get lucky. Because the site lets weakness win. This person's taking a lot of time, but so it's kind of hard to gauge their time, and they typically fold in that scenario. But usually, your opponents could, how fast they respond indicates the hands that they have. So I should have trapped them perfectly. Unless he hits the 7. So I trapped them perfectly. I did play, I did win a tournament. I don't have, for some reason, well, YouTube wasn't allowing me to put videos online. It kind of restricted my, my poker account. And, so I couldn't put videos online, but I played this tournament where I came first out of 1,252, and the very last hand, if you watched poker, you would have noticed how I basically did poker brain surgery on the guy, the opponent, and where I got them to go all in when they had 0 chance of winning. Like, it was the ideal situation. But it was like I did brain surgery on the opponent. It was awesome. It was like, very rarely do I impress myself playing poker, but I impressed myself when I watched it afterwards. It was like, wow, that was fantastic. Like, that was glorious. And yeah, so like that's the best case scenario is if your opponent goes all in when, like, let's say on the turn or something like that, when they have 0%, there's not a single, they need not even a miracle. There's 0 cards that can make them win. Right now I need the 9 on, I got lucky. So I didn't really put somebody on a hand in this hand, but you know, other than kind of calling noon on that the straight was going to come, but I should be able to put them on a hand here. I'll just show you my stats after this, because they're making me play these weak tournaments right now, because they're trying to demote me from veteran to, well, all-star to veteran, basically. That's what they do. I was on a real money website. I was ranked professional 4 times, and they made me go from professional to elite to expert to like like amateur, like in 3 weeks. And then once they stopped cheating, I went from amateur to professional in a day, basically. So here's my stats. So at a talent tournaments, 150 tournaments, I won 30, was in the money. You can see that they're in the money 78 times. So city, 63, 115, in the money 31 times. You know, county, 68. The times I played, 18 times I won, and 34 times I was in the money. And then state, 29 times I played, I was in the 9 wins and in the money 15 times. Regional, I played 54 times, 15 wins in the money 25 times. National, I've played 7 times, I won 3 times, in the money 4 times. Continental, I've played twice, I won once. In Worlds, I played once, and I didn't finish the money. I knew I was going to lose that one. As soon as I seen the opponent, I don't want to mention it right now, but as soon as I seen the opponent, I knew I was going to get unlucky, and I did. So I'll just show you here. So I'm 14th. Okay, so I might remain All-Star, but I'm not doing very well because they're not allowing me to play higher tournaments. So I'll just go to League and Blue. So you can see I ranked All-Star. So my one opponent was, so they were experts, so they were below semi-pro. But so there's a professional, veteran, All-Star, then Master would be the next one, Champion, World-Class, Legendary, and Mythical. Like on Single Poker, I was ranked Master. Usually I'm ranked about Master, and they don't allow me to get World-Class. Even though I'm probably one of the best in the world, because I can put people on cards all the time. Even really good people. Like in the system, I won in a 50,000 play money tournament. They pretended it was $50,000, and I won 8.2 million. And so they pretended that I won 8.2 million dollars. I panhandled the next day. So I'm trying to pause this here. So they just on my face they made it so the scar that disappeared. I have several videos where the didn't show that the scar disappeared. I even showed when I was tilting my face up. You can see the scar on a video earlier today, and but they made it so now you see it when I tilt my face up, and but I didn't have to tilt my face at all, and you can see the scar. All right, and then the one on my hand is, you clearly see how it changed. I don't know why they're making the one for this guy Dave. He I rented a house at I had several roommates that had just rented a room, and this guy Dave, I'm not gonna say his last name, but he had anger management issues, and he'd flip out all the time, and he smoked jib, and I don't even know what that is, but he smoked jib, and the government of Canada allows him to violate me. They allow drug dealers to violate me, and so anyways, he smoked jib. He had like at the dollar store, there's a plastic dish rack that he had, and he smashed, like he flipped out, he broke a dish rack into like 40-50 pieces. Everything this man owned, he broke. He belongs in prison. He can't control his temper, right? Like he belongs in prison. Like he couldn't control his temper at all. And the same landlord, I gave them a key deposit, and they ripped me off $100. And when I was moving out of town, when I needed the money as well, they're like, yeah, we'll give you money, and then they just never did. The guy wasn't even Canadian. The Canadian government just allows me to be violated. When they, I'm at the Sioux Area Hospital right now, and they're denying evidence. I showed the doctor my skeleton's different than any other human on the planet, and maybe my kids have the same skeleton, but so they're denying that. They're not giving me an X-ray, and I could adjust the chemicals in my brain, so it proves that I wouldn't have a chemical imbalance, because people use there's all the perpetrators that use my psyche to evade profiling, right? So they're going to be hunted down in the system, and so I came up with Wi-Fi paper currency to stop organized crime, because all they do is allow organized crime to violate me. They sell drugs, and then these politicians get bribe money, and then they develop compounds to rape my human experience to give me wrinkles, because they're jealous, because I should be 25. I should look 25 years old. Like, my body feels 25. Like, they have to hack me with chemical electrolysis to make me not move like a 25-year-old. And I'm 47. I have pimples. Like, I'll show you right now. Like, my body's rejuvenating. Like, I'm in the hospital, so I had to personally go in the hospital, because I said to this one cop, I'm like, well, I got proof that my wrinkles disappeared. He's like, well, Botox. Well, they don't, when you're in the mental health, like, they don't give you Botox in the public healthcare system, right? So my wrinkles, why did they disappear since I've been in the hospital? I have proof that the scar on my face disappeared, right? Like, I looked at it many different ways, different angles, but they made it come back today. And I got this scar from picking a pimple in 2023, because they made my skin like I was 108 years old. But I'll show you right now, right after this tournament, I'll show you how I have a pimple on my chin, because my body rejuvenates. I get pimples when I rejuvenate. But what they did is they made me have an open sore. Like, I took a shower, and I brought my phone in the shower, and I looked at porn. I went to Pornhub, and but what they did is they had kids subliminal. They had people put subliminal, and so I was masturbating to an adult, and like this woman, and they made it seem like I was masturbating to a kid, which I don't. Never fantasized about a kid ever. And so anyways, when I woke up the next morning, I had sores on my feet. So I went to asked the nurse to, like, how this happened. They're like, oh, you got dry feet. You got dry skin. It's like, then I looked online. Fucking African kids don't wear shoes. How come they don't have cracks on their feet? How come I got a crack on my feet in the thickest part of my callus? And then all of a sudden I started getting more wrinkles on my forehead. And that's why they're doing it. So anyways, so then I go to a nurse. I'm like, well, typically when I have athlete's foot, I have it on both feet. Then I woke up, like, so I only had a sore on my left foot. Then once I said it to Jenna, this nurse with the brown hair, as soon as I said that, the next day I woke up with a sore on my right foot. And then I'm like, okay, well, I want to have a doctor assess them, and then I'm going to get them to feel my voice box when I change the chemicals in my brain, a medical doctor, so they could prove that, because if I change, like right now, I'm changing the testosterone in my brain. Now I'm changing the estrogen in my brain. Now I'm changing the voice with my voice box, and if you're to see my mouth or feel my voice box, it's going to be different than when I'm changing the testosterone in my brain or estrogen in my brain. Right? It's different. So it proves that it's impossible for me to have a chemical imbalance. So this doctor, he didn't assess me whatsoever. He didn't assess me, and with the Freedom of Information Act, I'm going to prove that he didn't assess me, and he gave me a prescription without even looking at me. Right? And the nurse is like, well, he's seen you. The doctor has seen you. And it's like, no, he didn't see me. He didn't see me. Like, the Canadian government allows immigrants. Like, this nurse was an immigrant doctor, immigrant nurse, and they always want me to say doctor, but they're fucking an immigrant named Josh, and he's like a brown Asian, and I'm like, your family came to Canada for money, and he's like, no, we didn't. Well, it's like, oh fuck, you came to Canada for the fucking blizzards? You came to Canada for the cold fucking weather? You're brown skin, man. Brown skin, that means it's fucking probably 70 degrees Celsius every fucking day for your family. wherever you come from, like Burma or wherever the fuck you come from, right? Like, like in some, like you came to Canada for the money, right? Because this guy's an idiot, right? He's like, oh, I could change my voice, and I'm like, well, let me see you do it without fucking moving your lips, and let me see you. Like, he went higher. I'm like, let me see you go lower. Like once again, this is me changing the testosterone and the estrogen in my voice, and you can see my voice. My mouth isn't going up like that, but now I'm going to change my voice box, and you can see how much my mouth has to move, right? So a positron emission tomography would prove this. And, the doctor's saying that I have psychotic tendencies. My brother, he's deceased now, and but he said I threw him down a dumpster. This is why they say that I have psychotic tendencies. So the last time I had lived in a building with a dumpster, like I was 12 years old. So they tried to medicate me at 42. Why did they wait 30 years? And it was on the 4th floor. How come he didn't have any lacerations? How come he didn't break any bones or kill himself? 4th floor, that's 40 feet. You die. You would die 40 feet. He would die. He would have pinballed all the way down. He would have cut himself. He would have broken bones and had contusions and lacerations. There's zero medical proof. I never got COVID. I'm the only human on the planet that never seen a doctor for COVID. The only person on the planet. And they lie and they hide who I am. And a blood test would prove this. So, I'm trying to challenge the Canadian government, but they don't allow me to use facts like pictures and evidence, right? But they just go by testimony. So the doctor twice lied. Like in the hearing, he lied twice and he embellished the facts once. Like, in the last hearing, he's like, last seen on May 27th. And I seen him later that day on May 27th, but he said last seen May 27th. So he lied. He embellished the facts because I didn't see him at this point when he printed it up. But he made it seem like I already seen him. Right? He got my daughter's name wrong. He got when I worked wrong. He didn't even acknowledge the fact that I was assessed by a doctor in Toronto, a Canadian trained doctor, and I was released without medication. Because, I said to the doctor, I'm like, well, there's no proof of me going down, or my brother going down the garbage dumpster. So when I said there's no proof of me going down, that was a human hijacker pretending to be my brother in this situation, because I'm the true king and they're trying to exploit this. They have people that play different artificial intelligence and augmented reality simulations pretend to be me. And so that's why when I said the nurse, that they made me say doctor. He's not a doctor. Josh is a fucking idiot. He's a moron. He's an idiot, right? He has brown skin. The only reason why people come to Canada, the New World, right, is for fucking money. Like wherever he's from, he's a brown Asian. So that means they probably make like fucking $4,000 a year. He's a nurse. He's going to make like $50,000 a year in Canada, right? You don't come, like 3 of my 4 grandparents were fucking immigrants. They all came to Canada for fucking the money. You come to Canada for the money. If you can't get into the States, you come to Canada. Like, that's basically it. If you can't get into America, the land of opportunity, you come to Canada for the money. You don't come to Canada like in Sault Ste. Marie, where I am. He's in Sault Ste. Marie. It gets like it's minus 20 about 30 days a year, minus 20 degrees Celsius. Like there's about 20 blizzards a year where the visibility is less than 50 feet. Nobody fucking comes to Sault Ste. Marie. It fucking sucks. The weather's so cold. Like we do have beautiful summers, but the winters are brutally cold. Why the fuck would you come to Sault Ste. Marie? And he's like, well, my family. I'm like, well, they came here for the money. He's like, no, they were just here. No, they weren't, because there's no fucking brown Asians in fucking Sault Ste. Marie. There's only indigenous people, like brown skin, the real brown people, and the real Canadians, and then fucking white people. Everybody else immigrated here. My parents immigrated. Like three of my 4 grandparents had accents because they were fucking immigrants. So I know that fucking immigrants come to Canada for the fucking money. You're a fucking loser. He's a fucking loser. So he said that the doctor assessed me, Dr. Ball, and I don't even know what the man looks like. Never seen the man in my life, right? So there is a Freedom of Information Act, and I'm going to prove that I've never even fucking seen the guy, right? Because there's going to be surveillance and in the hallways, and I've never been in the same room as that man. There's going to be evidence of this. So I try to upload. So they're trying to make it so I try to upload this video. So even though I had LTE for this video is 24 minutes long, and I've been uploading even before that. It only uploaded 53%. They're trying to make me lose all my battery. So let's see if it uploaded on YouTube.
right? They're making YouTube crash. So, but YouTube is awesome. You don't have to be on the app to upload it. So it looks like it already uploaded to YouTube. I'm not saying uploaded the videos. So on the YouTube, upload fast, but over the last week, now it's saying it's taking a long time on YouTube as well. Only 41% on YouTube. But the good thing about YouTube is it resumes where you left off. But on TikTok, if I turn off my phone, if I'm not on the app, then I can't upload the file. It sucks. TikTok sucks. It fucking sucks. I hate it. I'm not putting this on. I guess I will post it on TikTok, so I'm probably going to get a community rights violation. If I do, I'll put it on my next video, and I'll link my YouTube channel to this video, because I get community rights violations for the craziest things on TikTok. They don't even make sense. They don't even make sense. I posted a joke and I got a community rights violation. I can't repeat the joke because then I can't post this video on TikTok. You can't even post jokes. I posted, oh, actually, this is a poker video. So yeah, I can post it. So I called, I'm like, a spree-tard is somebody that's a seemingly competent individual that makes rapid access stupidity. They're spree-tarded, right? And so I made a video like that. Community rights violation on TikTok. Fucking loser company. What they secretly do to people, and they give me community rights violations. You fucking losers. Unofficially, I'm a trillionaire, and they rally behind a billionaire. They're fucking a loser country. Fucking loser country. Like, there's this one attendant at the Subaru hospital. They rally like these people. They rally behind their imaginary friends, and so they always embellish. They always look better than what they do in real life. So Kenya, she might have been good looking like 20 years ago. She looks like she's 50 something. So she'd be good looking to like 80-year-old men, right? But in augmented reality, she makes herself look like probably super hot and to these Chinese men, and it's like well, first of all, these people, they lie, like they misinform what other people see in their head, but they believe everything they see in their head because they're fucking idiots. Right? And guys always lie. Two things that men lie about: their penis size and how much money they make. Almost every guy does. I'm the only exception. But guys, does he have a straight flash? He could potentially have 3-4 suited here. Let's see what the bet does. He should go all in on. He doesn't have the straight flush. This guy doesn't have the straight flush, I guarantee it. He has a flush draw. I bet he has like the queen. He has a high club, I bet you. Or the ace. So this guy has a club or an ace, I bet you. Yeah, the ace. I could tell by his betting pattern. The other guy wasn't quite sure because they were reacting. The other guy led, so I was able to put him on hand basically. Because that's typical betting pattern. It was highly likely that he had the ace or the, it's too hard to tolerate. That's why I had to say the ace or the club, the queen, because he came out aggressive, and then he didn't continue his aggression, right? So he didn't continue the aggression. If he would have continued the aggression, he would have had the straight flush or a flush, and but he didn't continue the aggression, and no club came on the river. So if the club would have came on the river, then the other guy that had the queen, he would have been very aggressive. He probably would have went all in because he would have had the second best flush. And so the guy that had the ace, he played it pretty good. Like, he made it seem like he had the flush, right? And or he had a strong hand. He indicated that he had a strong hand. So he did play it pretty good. But
he didn't keep his foot on the gas, right? So he ended up going broke anyways, but he would have had a better chance of winning the hand, keeping up the aggression, the entire hand. But the fact that he hesitated, like when I bet, or whoever, there was only a 200 chip bet on the turn, and he didn't raise all in, right? So he, at that point, you could tell, like, unless they're trapping, like in the future, somebody might trap me this way. But historically, if they didn't raise at that point, so you could tell that he most likely had the ace and he had a drawn hand because he didn't want to play for more chips. Whereas if he had the, like right now, like if you have the two, you're going to be very aggressive. Or if you have the flush, you're going to be very aggressive. So I'm going to pretend that I have the flush for the two. He should fold. I'm going to show the three. But usually even if you have the ace there, like even if I made my opponent fold the ace, they made the right decision to fold the ace there, even though it was wrong that time. But long term, it's the right decision because you're gonna, if you're always calling with the ace, there's a flush possibility and the straight possibility. So an ace, like top pair, is a weak hand, right, in that scenario. So it's the wrong short-term decision, but it's the right long-term decision. Like I got a guy to fold a three of a kind, and it was the wrong short-term decision, but he made the best play. He made the right decision because long-term, it was how I played the hand. I played it like I had the flush or the straight, right? I played it perfectly. So he made the right decision, but it just happened to be wrong that time, right? And so, like, that's the thing about poker is you have to think, you have to make long-term decisions, right? You do make short-term decisions too with your opponents, right? But it's a long-term game, right? You want to develop a consistency over the long term to make strong decisions long term. And then once you get enough experience with your opponents, you can make short-term decisions. But like so right here, I'm trying to hesitate. So if they're not cheating, I'm trying to hesitate like this, try to figure out how much money I could extract from him. He should fold, but he didn't because he had the flush. Nice hand. Nice hand. They played that really well because they had a weak flush, and so they didn't get aggressive because like if you flop the flush, it's a weak flush. He had a 5-high flush basically, right? So that's a very weak flush, and usually you get destroyed with a flush like that. Like if you're a new player, you're like, wow, I got a flush all in, right? But once you're more experienced, you get busted many times with that flush. You lose all your chips because you think it's such a strong hand, right? It's a flush, right? There's with poker, there's high card, one pair, two pair, three of a kind, straight, flush, right? So a flush is like, it's hard to get a flush. Most hands are either a pair or no pair, right? So if you get two pair, that's you could start playing it a little stronger, like. But people typically, like if I had a two pair with 3-4, I'm gonna run into a higher two pair scenario sometimes, or three of a kind, or straight, or a flush, or a full house, or four of a kind, or straight flush, or royal flush, right? So two pairs, the third weakest hand basically, right? But people play their ace king like they're invincible, like because you see it on TV, you see the pros, they're like all in with their ace king, but ace king is a terrible hand. It's a terrible hand. It's a drawn hand. You have to, like this flop, it would have been pretty good, right? Because you would have had the pair of kings with the ace kickers. So you would have had a semi-strong hand, but you're vulnerable to three of a kinds and two pairs. Like pretty much with my poker game, the only hand that I'm vulnerable to is pocket pairs. It's the only hand that they could consistently get money out of me because I could smell a two pair coming along the way, but like if they had the pocket nines or pocket six or pocket deuce, and just say I had ace nine or pocket tens, I'd be feeling confident, right? And but usually I get busted with a pocket pair because it could be any one card, right? But when there's more cards, it's easier to put people on a hand when there's more cards that it could be. But with pocket
pairs, it could be any one card, right? So it's hard to put them on that hand. I do occasionally, but I have an easier time putting somebody on a I put a guy in a straight flush. I had an easier time putting a guy in a straight flush than I did a three of a kind with a pocket pair, because it could be any one card, right? So depending on how they play, like, so if they slow play it, then I usually get busted. I don't get busted, but I lose lose more than I should, because they're not aggressive, right? So then, because the way it is in poker, like, see, there's 5.7K in there now. I'm not going to do it now, because this guy's all in and they'd see my hand that is bluffing. But there's 5.7K in the pot, right? So in poker, a lot of people, like if there's a flush draw on the flop, there's a lot of people that they just want to see the river. The months they don't make the flush on the river, you could steal the pot away from them, right? So there's lots of pots that you could steal, and just because you put money in a pot, don't be committed to that money. Don't be chasing. It's like putting money into a sinking ship, right? Like, or a car. Like if your car, like you got $1,000 car, $2,000 car, and then you go to you bring it to the shop and they want like $1,200 worth of work on the car. At that point, be like, okay, well, I guess I'm catching the bus for the next few months, so I could save up and buy a new car, because it's a sinking ship. You put $1,200 in that car, you're never gonna get that money back. It's like pissing it away. It's like pissing in the wind. You'll never see that money again. Does he have the 4? I'm gonna fold, because he could have a straight, and hoping for a raise. Because when people bet, there's 3 things they're trying to do: either bet to make you call, bet to make you fold, or bet to make you raise. There's three things they're trying to achieve. One of those 3 possibilities. And so, like, right now there's 3.2K in the pot, right? So I invested a little bit, but it's not my money anymore. It's not my money if it's in the pot in the middle, unless I win, right? And so it's not my money, so I don't want it. You got to be able to pull the parachute, and I'm going to show the bluff. I show the bluff to encourage them to make bad calls, like in the following hands. That's the only reason why I show the bluff. And the pros say don't show the bluff, so I try to do what the pros say you're not supposed to do. Right, so I try to be ordinary. But really, if you're a new player, you never want to show the bluff, because you always give your opponent information. But that being said, if you do show a bluff, what you do is you don't, if you're at a 9-handed table, right? Because if you're at a 9-handed table, you only have to pay money every 2 hands. Like small blind and big blind only comes around twice every 9 hands, so you get to see 7 hands for free, right? Unless there's an ante, right? So in that scenario, you could be patient. You could wait for ace king, pocket aces, pair 10s, or you can wait for stronger hands. But 5-handed, you can't. You have to be more aggressive, and especially on I love this site, because I don't like the blind structure, but I love the fact that top 2 finish in the money, right? So I pretty much want to play it like it.
How's it going?
Not too bad, you?
Good, I'm just checking in. How was your day?
It was pretty good.
Good. How's your mood?
My mood's fantastic.
Good, good. Any negative thought content?
No, just the fact that I'm not getting my medicine,
Yeah.
medical marijuana.
Yeah, I hear you.
And I'm going to litigate against the Syria hospital, because I have a medical prescription from it, so it's been withheld from me for over a month, right? So
Yeah.
the punitive damages for that is going to be quite expensive. Yeah, it's fantastic.
But you're not having thoughts of hurting yourself or others?
No, I never. But once I'm king, I'm going to be able to do things, but not now.
Okay. All right. Are you feeling anxious or anything?
No, only when it's caused by the hospital.
Okay. And are you seeing or hearing things that other people wouldn't hear?
No, I don't see anything that nobody else would hear.
Okay. Cool.
Because schizophrenia is man-made. Computer-assisted health is known science.
Okay.
And there is a freedom of thought in the Charter of Rights, because the government knows that your brain's made up of water, conducts electricity.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Anything conductive could transmit and receive a signal. So you could listen to thoughts, you could see thoughts. So for you to say that, have you heard anything that people could hear or see, that you're kind of not acknowledging science, right? And that's known science. Like look on your phone.
computer-assisted telepathy YouTube, you're going to see videos that show that telepathy is possible with technology. Because why else would the crystal ball has been around for over 1,000 years, right? So why would they give up? Why didn't they give up on the crystal ball? Because they could see your thoughts, right? They could see your thoughts, but the glimpses of your thoughts. If not, they wouldn't have sold crystal balls for over 1,000 years. Right? So schizophrenia is man-made.
Do you have any like concerns other than the medical marijuana? Or
No.
safety concerns, anything like that?
Well, my concern is that it's basically mental health in Canada is a witch hunt. You're not allowed to prove science. Like at the CCB hearing, I wasn't able to show medical proof. Like right there, no human has that bone right there, or there, and no human has a sternum like that. So how come I haven't been given an X-ray to prove that I have, that I have unique biology? And how come I show proof online? I showed the doctor how I had wrinkles before I came here, and they're gone because I'm not smoking cigarettes in here. And how I could adjust the testosterone or estrogen and see how my voice box is, my mouth isn't really changing. But now I'm changing with my voice box, and you can see how much my mouth is moving. So it's impossible for me to have a chemical imbalance. I have different muscles than everybody else does. I have proof of this. Like, and my scar on my hand has changed since I've been in the hospital. Right? Do you lose scars?
What's that?
Has your scars ever changed? Mine do, because they have to manufacture my scars. Right? My parent, like, you know, my ex-wife had a King Charles Cavalier Spaniel. I'm saying that I'm the true king. And, you know, I look like Edward VIII, the last true king. I look like his father and his grandfather. And then I look like the last two German emperors. And I look like the last Russian Tsar. So Queen Elizabeth's daughter, oldest daughter, looks like my daughter when she was a girl. Her husband looks like my father. His son looks like me and my mom. And I had proof, like my dad had servants, his dad had servants, and all his forefathers had servants. So we party with royals. I have proof of a royal invitation. And you guys are like, well, he has grandiose beliefs. He's saying that he's royal. It's like, we used to fucking party with royal people. Like, I have an invitation proof. Like, it says Princess Louise, right? And, you know, so anyways, and I'm not given science. I'm not given an X-ray, a positron emission tomography. And so nobody's acknowledged a doctor, he gave me a prescription without assessing me here. Like, why? Like, that's not typical, right? And it's a witch hunt. But so anyways, you know, I'm probably going to lose my appeal. But when I litigate, I'm going to be able to show video proof. And then I'm going to get millions of dollars. And then all the staff members are going to be you know, because they drug me with nanotechnology. They don't acknowledge the subliminal system, right? So they deny it. And eventually I'm going to become king. Then I'm going to ask them the same question. Like, why did you lie about the subliminal system? Then I can execute them for that, because that's a 10th of regicide at that point. That's 25 years in prison for high treason, right? At that point. So people are going to go to prison for 25 years for lying, at least. But then I can amend the Constitution, because Canada secretly executes people and kills people. So I'm going to execute them for attempt of regicide. Regicide is trying to kill a king, right? So with like nurses, like, it's a mental health ward where people are, like, you see it in the PICU, where they're like, okay, are you a threat to yourself or another person? And they walk around with their hands in their pocket, right? So you could get hit by a patient. So if they're a threat to themselves or another person, so why would nurses have hands in their pocket if they were trying to hide technology, right? And so I was admitted in the hospital on May 5th. The letter from my sister is dated May 9th. How is that ethical? How come I was the letter from my sister saying that I was a threat to myself or another person was 4 days after I was hospitalized? How come they said it was a member from the community, and then a doctor, and then a family member? They couldn't get their story straight.
Right.
They kept me in the PICU for 10 days because they could control the food I ate. And then the doctor lied on transcript that he said that there's no rooms, like there's no beds available over here. But with the Freedom of Information Act, I get to subpoena all the surveillance, all the cameras. And I'm going to show that I wasn't a threat to myself. So he shouldn't have extended the form, like, legally. I get sued for all this. All I do is document online. I document online and just prove this all, right? So I'm going to get like millions of dollars for punitive damages. Like, as soon as they drug me, I get it. Like, I'm going to show eventually that I have biology that nobody has, right? And then so it's like me making you wear glasses that you don't need. your eyes are gonna get fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
So you give people medication for the brain that they don't need, you can fuck them up, right? And that's what Canada does all the time. It's a witch hunt. They use hearsay. You know what hearsay is?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, I heard they did this. That's not admissible in court.
Right.
In legal court, like civil criminal court, that's not admissible. But you could get, I've been hospitalized for over a month based on hearsay. I get a sue for that. Fucking every day, I'm gonna get fucking millions of dollars. Millions of dollars.
Okay. Is there anything I can get for you right now?
Like I have evidence of my earwax looking orange, like hunter orange. Like that's abnormal. I have evidence of clear like mucus. Do you have clear mucus?
Sometimes.
Like all the time. Jen, clear mucus.
Okay. Like.
Nobody has clear mucus all the time. Most of my life I had green or yellow mucus. Nobody has clear mucus.
Okay.
Right? Nobody does. You kind of lied to me right now. Right? But anyways, like I asked the doctor to respond to me because I challenged him to respond in email. Now he doesn't even look at me because when he responds to me without email, then it's my word against the doctor. So obviously they're gonna listen and say, oh, he's a doctor and this guy has a mental health issue. But I'm the smartest person ever. You know, I've been told by 2 people that I'm the smartest person they've ever met. I've been the first in the world in 2 games. Have you ever came first out of 1,000 in anything? I came first out of 1,000 out of 8,000 in a poker tournament, first out of 1462 and 1252. I've been ranked professional 4 times, like 4 times on a real money website. And they're like grandiose beliefs. I was offered to model in New York City, and you know, anyways, when I was 15, the very first time I played hardball, I made the tournament team. I got called up against 21-year-olds. My dad had a professional hockey tryout. My grandfather played professional baseball, and you're saying that I have grandiose beliefs. I come from talented people. I wrote an R&B song that's a hit song, a hit country song, a reggae song, like, you know, 3 different genres of music. I'm the most talented human that ever lived. And so that's why they exploit my intellectual property. The other day, off Tesla, I would have made $52,000 per $1 million. They lost 14% of their stock, so I knew it was going to go up the next day. It went up 5%. Per $1 million, I would have made $52,000. Like last year, with a 10-minute decision, I would have made $237,000 off one 10-minute decision. I doubled my money on the stock market in 16 days. It takes over 12 years to do it in a mutual fund. Have you ever doubled your money on the stock market?
I'm not big in stocks.
Like I can make more than what you would make your entire lifetime in like 20 minutes on the stock market. But that's why the government keeps me poor.
Alright.
You know, like, anyways.
Alright. Well, if.
I just don't like the line of questioning that people ask.
Yeah, I know. It's we have to document like.
But you don't ever document the facts. Like I showed you my skeleton. I never heard one of the nurses say, well, he showed me a bone on my foot that nobody has. I don't have that bone. He showed me a sternum that nobody has. So when I sue the hospital, I'm gonna sue you for this as well. Because I showed you my skeleton. I showed you how I could adjust the chemicals in my brain, and I showed you my voice box. So when I sue the hospital, I gotta sue you, I'm gonna sue you, I'm gonna sue the doctors, all the nurses, I gotta sue the hospital director, I'm gonna sue the mayor of Ontario, I'm gonna sue the premier of Ontario, and then the Canadian government. I sue everybody. I'm gonna get millions of dollars for this, right? You know, my family had a King Charles Cavalier Spaniel. The current king is King Charles. They manipulated me to get a King Charles Cavalier Spaniel. They manipulated my sister to live on Princess Crescent because we're fucking the true royals, right? Like, do you live on Princess Crescent? Right? Like, you know, how come, like, these stories, how come, like, if I showed you what Augusta Victoria looked like, the Queen Victoria's oldest daughter, she looks like my daughter as a kid. Her husband looks like my dad. His son looks like me and my mom. Like, identical, like twins. Like, I went to, like, London, England, Captain James Cook looks identical to me. Like my fucking twin, my twin. And my grandmother's maiden name is Ivy Marion Cook, right? So she told me that we could be related to this guy. So when I went to London, England, it's like, yeah, fuck, I'm related to that guy because I look identical to him. He looks like my fucking twin. But anyways, that's my rant.
Alright. If you need anything later, just let me know. Okay?
Okay.
Alright.
yeah, I had to hide my phone there because that nurse, you know, she looks like my half sister that passed away like 30 years ago, and she is she's such a condescending. She's like, well, do you, you know, so I challenged her like about the subliminal system. So, you know, once again, I'm going to litigate civilly, and then eventually I get to execute her for this because she lied to me. And I'll just play a video right here. And this is the power that I have because Canada has a subliminal system. So I'm just going to show you proof. And a Gauss meter, Gauss. But like, so this is how I looked in January 2025. Like that's how the Canadian government chemically mutilates me. So this is an ashtray. That's a subliminal face they put in an ashtray when they violate me. They register me every time I touch my penis. Here's another face in that ashtray. And you can see the ashtray at the bottom here. That was in my personal residence. And so here's George VI. He looks like me. Here's what I looked like in 19. Here's one of the last Russian czars. You can see the eyes. The eyes are almost identical to him. So there's 3 royals. Queen Victoria had 3 royals. And like the Tsar Nicholas, George V, and William II. Here's William II. He looks like me, identical to me. And I look like everybody, basically. Everybody famous. This guy's from Cook Island. He looks like me. And because officially Captain James Cook didn't have any kids that reached adulthood. But, you know, wherever he went, he had kids that were talented. So I'm complaining about people steal my attributes. And Stephanie Meyer, the same last name as me, she wrote a book about parasitic aliens. So before I was born, Canada was 27th in the world in Olympics. America was 3rd. They both boycotted the 1980 Olympics in Moscow. And when I was 7 years old, Canada was now 6th in the world in Olympics. And America was ranked 1st because of me. Here's the proof, Stephanie Meyer. So I showed her my feet. And once again, and you could hear what I said, how, you know, I mentioned how, you know, I have a skeleton and the nurse has never documented. So there's no, like, there's his ankles right there. There's no bone here or ridge here. Here's my feet. You can see my ankle right there. There's a bone that I have right there and a ridge right there. And I have it on both feet. Bone right there. There's a bone right, my ankle. There's a bone and a ridge right there. So, and I showed them a sternum that nobody else has. And so once again, this guy looks like my twin. And here's the royal invitation. It says right there, Princess Louise and Colin Campbell. Well, Campbell. So on the back of it, I found this guy's name, Colin Campbell. So when I did a Google search, it came up with this guy's name. And he was born October 20th. He died August 14th. I'm born October 20th. My mom died August 13th. And my first cousin was born August 14th. No coincidence. Because he looks like my mom's brother, my Uncle John, and his son was born on August 14th. He also looks like me and my dad. Me and my dad were born on October 20th. They made, like through midwives, they made us born on October 20th. So this is some of the technology. If you Google search this patent, and you'll see that some of the technology they could put in people to see what they could do. And they could then communicate over a computer. They could broadcast frequency into your brain, like indifference. With this gun, they could implant thoughts. In the Charter of Rights, there's freedom of thought. So I sought asylum in see if I can find it real quick. Here it is. I sought asylum in 2019. You can see how Canada was worth $1.743 trillion, and they lost $92 billion in 2020 because I sought asylum. Like that's the power that I have. And they're going to lose more. Here's a picture of my face in the subliminal, and a Gauss meter, Gauss, would prove this. So I'm just going to show you one more thing real fast. So I wanted to show this. So it's a 50-second video. But here's me challenging a street nurse.
We're not in a hospital right now. So do you use subliminal whatsoever? Have you ever used subliminal in your life? No, you haven't.
Anyways, okay, take care, Christian.
Okay, there's a ghost reading wherever you are. So he clearly lied to me, but you can tell by the indication.
So, anyways, I have to be quick because I only have 4% left. But so that being said, you know, he lied that nurse pretended that he was a doctor, that I was in a hospital. That's why I said that. And as soon as I challenged him, that's why the police pulled him off screen. So, and this was earlier on this year. So clearly they didn't think I was a threat to myself or anybody else. So I wasn't hospitalized at that point, and I didn't have medication for over almost 2 years by that point. But a doctor that wasn't even trained in Canada said that I have a mental health issue that typically only women have, and they do from 17 to 35, not in their 40s. And I've never exhibited any psychotic tendencies. I don't have an assault record, don't have a criminal record, and I don't have any bipolar characteristics. I'm not super happy or super depressed in any of my videos, just pissed off. Fuck you, Canada.